Good evening, everyone. We'll go ahead and get started. First, we have a couple of citizens that want to address the commission. First, we have Rocky Sickle. Mr. Sickle, if you want to come on down, please state your name and your address, and you'll have 3 minutes to address the commission.
My name is Rocky Sickle. I live at 3645 Lake Road, Woodlawn, Tennessee. Good evening, Mayor and council members. Thank you for the opportunity to address you this evening. My name again is Rocky Sickle, and I am a friend of Clarksville Montgomery County school system. I say that for over my 20 years here, I've served in and around the school system with every opportunity that I could. My wife is an 18-year employee of the school system, and my son is a new school teacher with the school system. I say all that because I'm here to advocate for charter schools as a part of our school system, specifically for the American Classical Education Charter School that has submitted its application to our school system last week. My primary reason for addressing you this evening is to ask that you would take some time to look past all the misinformation surrounding charter schools and to seek the facts themselves. And the facts are that they are a tremendous success throughout our entire nation. I knew nothing about charter schools a year ago, but I was intrigued when I saw that our governor was soliciting their presence in our fine state. As I began to explore them, I quickly found that almost everyone I talked to opposed charter schools. But I also found it curious that they all opposed them for the same reasons. And those very same reasons I found were absolutely false. Yes, there's a lot of opposition towards charter schools, but the facts speak for themselves. They prove to be tremendously successful wherever they are established. And in our case, they're exactly what we need to combat some of our greatest problems in our community. Charter schools and CMCSS help reduce the overcrowding while complementing our rapid population growth. They will save taxpayers' monies as they provide alternatives to high-cost school complexes. And they will help to lessen the load of the overburdened bus transportation system. What I have found is that charter schools increase the quality of education in a community while saving taxpayers money and empowering both teachers and parents alike. And I believe if you would take just a little bit of time to explore their track record, you would discover the exact same thing. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions concerning charter schools or the American Classical Education Charter School that has submitted its application to serve as a public school in Montgomery County. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Carrie Smith. Just go ahead and state your name, Ms. Smith, and your address, and you'll have 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Carrie Smith, 225 Iron Workers Road, Clarksville. Thanks for the opportunity to address you all today. I'm here to talk about an aquatic center near Sango, if possible. Your current pool facilities that are available up at New Providence, you have an indoor pool that's indoor and outdoor pool that's year-round. Beach Haven and Swan Lake are both outdoor pools that really can't offer anything as far as competitive swim team. My son is currently on the swim team at the YMCA. He is progressing quickly, and it's very exciting, and I just want to have him some more opportunities to grow. So that's why I'm here. I am a physician assistant. I work at Fort Campbell in orthopedic surgery. I'm often encouraging my patients to go seek aquatic therapy if possible, because a lot of them have arthritic knees and other things that are ailing them. So again, reasons for an aquatic center. Around Sango, we have a huge young family population, approximately 2,500, 2,600 school-aged children, just in those 3 elementary schools, plus your private schools, all that. And then my representative, Mr. Smith, told me that we might be getting more elementary schools, so that's even more exciting. So the benefits of having an aquatic center. Swim lessons, that's going to be your moneymaker. Competitive and youth swim teams. USA Swimming does offer grant money for outreach programs. Hosting swim meets, that's also going to be your moneymaker. High school swim team, I don't believe we have any high school swim teams at any of our 8 high schools currently, which is kind of a sad thought. Homeschool, you could have teams or classes. Youth water polo, a water aerobics for our aging population, and water therapy. which would honestly be the biggest income source. I was a member of a inner tube water polo team when I was in college, and it was quite fun. That could be an option for our college students and Fort Campbell soldiers. And of course, birthday parties. We always need new places to have birthday parties. My kids are invited somewhere like every month, so a new place would be great. You could have Boy Scout badges, daycare, field trips, all the above to make this successful. I spoke with Jeff Tyndall, the ACIP director for Montgomery County Parks and Rec, and he said the aquatic center was already a thought and ranked #1 as the goal, so that makes me very excited. And then I talked with my representative, Mr. Smith, and he said obviously budget would be the biggest setback. So I gave some numbers for an aquatic center at a place where I used to live, Gallup, New Mexico. It was built in 2006, so I realize these numbers are a little bit old. They had an all-brick facility in the population of that city is 25,000 people. So
We'll turn the mic back on. Just go ahead and try to wrap it up pretty quick. Thank you.
sorry. Yeah, I wrote down the yearly costs, all that job creation, you'd have at least 25 to 40 people, and I gave you the pool size. On my notes, you'll see successful aquatic center sources there. You've got total aquatic programming, and they just basically will come here and help you build a facility and make it marketable and successful. And then I gave you some options to look up online if you're interested of some facilities that are already successful. #1 being that Cary, North Carolina, they are profitable. Thank you for your time. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Okay, we'll go ahead and call this informal commission meeting to order on February 6, 2023. First thing on the agenda, we have a presentation by VSO Director Andrew Kester. Mr. Kester, come on down.
Thank you, Mayor. As you know, we have 31,000 veterans in our community, many of which are highly decorated. A lot of years of service, a lot of continued service. Even on this commission, we have highly decorated veterans, some that you don't even know what they did during their service. One highly decorated commissioner we have served over 30 years to our country, received 3 Bronze Stars Medal, 3 Meritorious Service Medals, Occupation Service Medal, Vietnam Service Medal with 4 campaign stars, Vietnam Campaign Medal, Republic of Vietnam Cross of Gallantry, South Vietnam Presidential Unit Citation, and a culmination award of the Legion of Merit. Most veterans would, with 30 years of service, would take the Legion of Merit as their Lifetime Achievement Award. I want to call Commissioner Joe Crete to join me. Commissioner Crete served 30 years. These were just some of his awards. When he retired in 1989, the Adjutant Corps awarded Commissioner Crete the Horatio Gates Bronze Medal and Certificate. The Horatio Gates was the first Adjutant General of the Army. A gold medal was presented to Major General Horatio Gates by a congressional resolution to commemorate his victories over the British in the battles of Bennington, Fort Sandwich, and Saratoga. These 3 battles prevented the British from occupying the strategic Hudson Valley and isolating New England from other former colonies during the Revolutionary War. The Adjutant General Corps commemorated this achievement with a bronze medal and awarded to the Adjutant Corps and Human Resources community for service members that acted with service and leadership as Gates did. When Chief Warrant Officer 4 Joe Crete retired in February of 1989, he was awarded the 76th recipient of this Lifetime Achievement Award. Sometime in the last 34 years, that award was misplaced and lost. He came to our office last year asking for assistance finding this award. It's taken us over a year but we located the issuing authority, proved that we had Chief Warrant Officer 4 Joe Crete in our community, and got this award reissued. They asked for everything but a DNA sample. At this time, I want to reissue and represent Chief Warrant Officer 4 Joe Crete with the Brigadier General Horatio Gates Award for the Adjutant Corps, 30 years of service, and his dedication to service and leadership to our country.
Thank you all for recognizing me. I'm full of stories. To get this medal, it wasn't easy. During my career in the military for 30 years as a personnel officer, I ran into several people of high rank with enormous history in their background. One of the individuals that when I was a personnel officer, I was responsible for the personnel records. I had the personnel records. Horatio Gates, I'm sorry, that's the award that I got. But anyway, this individual I had the records for was a lieutenant colonel. He's a pathologist. And he was one of the 4 individuals that performed the autopsy on President Kennedy. His English wasn't too good, so he utilized me to try to interpret some of the things that he needed interpreted. So I spent a year in Vietnam. Well, I spent 2 years in Vietnam, but one of them, I think, there's several books been written about his involvement with President Kennedy's autopsy. And I'm full of stories. I met several individuals that had outstanding backgrounds, and I was so thankful that I got the Horatio Gates Medal. And thank you all that has had service in the military. You know where I'm coming from. It's not easy to have family. I left a little 9-month-old baby girl and didn't see her for a year. That was tough. And I'm full of stories about the military career, of being separated from family, and some of the accomplishments a person runs into. Thank you for your friendship, and thank you for being on the county commission. God bless you all.
Commissioner Creek, it is an honor to have you here with us, still serving our community. Thank you, sir. So for this month, we do not have any zoning resolutions. We will move right into our resolutions. First, we have 2321, slated to be on the consent agenda, a resolution to retain a delinquent tax attorney for tax year 2021. So for this, the county trustee provides the name of who they want. They send it over to the mayor's office, and then if we agree, we put it on the resolution. Is there any discussion on 2321? Seeing none, we'll move on to 2322, resolution to accept and appropriate grant funds from the Bureau of Justice Assistance State Criminal Alien Assistance Program for the fiscal year 2020 award period. This is also the same as the next resolution, both slated to be on the consent agenda. 2323, resolution to accept and appropriate grant funds from the Bureau of Justice Assistance State Criminal Alien Assistance Program for fiscal year 2021 award period. Is there any questions or discussion on these two items? Seeing none, we'll move on to 2324, resolution to amend the budget of various funds for fiscal year 2023 in certain areas of revenues and expenditures. Mr. Taylor, do you have anything you want to add for this one?
Yes, sir. If you'll look on that cleanup resolution down through there, there's a couple of items that are highlighted in red. One is with the Community Corrections Grant. That grant was increased by $111,000, so we've just updated the figures that we have in those line items. Excuse me. And then I believe there was one correction for the sheriff's office as well, or two in regards to their JAG grant.
Any questions or discussion on 2324? Seeing none, we'll move on to 2325, a resolution to amend Resolution 2224 to establish a committee membership from chairs of other committees when in conflict. This resolution came to be when we have people that are chairs of multiple committees, and then by default, their position on that chair puts them on another committee. If those two are in conflict, this is a way for us to handle these situations so that the committee themselves can then appoint another committee member to be on there. Any questions or discussions on this one? Seeing none, we'll move on to 2326, resolution amending the budget of the Montgomery County Mayor's Office for the addition of a Director of Continuous Improvement position. This is a position, the mayor's office has put it in the budget before and then pulled it on what they called a Deputy Chief of Staff position. So when I came into office, I went around and met with all the elected officials and department heads. And one of the things that I heard a lot was the contrast and the difference between the two chief of staffs that were here before. One was very external focused, big vision, looking at the community, and the other one was more internal, dealing with department heads, elected officials, and people like that. And it sounds like they were completely different in the way that they did their work, but in all reality, both are needed. So it's a span of control issue for us, and it's something that I've seen working in local government where new projects come along, new programs come along, and they're put on people to complete who already have full-time jobs, and then we can't figure out why these new projects don't succeed as well as they could. So this is something that other industries are doing as well. The school system also has a position of this title, and it's something that I believe that is needed. So I'll ask for your support on this. Any questions on that? Commissioner Knight.
Is this slated to go on the consent agenda?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Commissioner Bill.
Upon approval, will this position be posted on the job site for the public to apply?
Yes, sir. This would be a competitive recruitment. It would be posted. We would conduct interviews and the whole 9 yards. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Commissioner Burkholder.
Do we have the total annual cost, the salary and everything for this new position, the starting and like the cap for that salary?
Yes, and I believe Melissa also put something in your Dropbox as well, but Mr. Taylor?
The total cost would be just under $150,000 with salary and benefits.
Commissioner Knight.
So Jeff, you said the total will be just under 50?
$150,000.
150.
Yes, sir.
And that's annual cost?
That's the annual cost with salary and benefits.
So the starting rate is what, 122? I know we had
Yes, sir.
Okay, starts at 122 and goes up to 166?
I believe that's right. I'd have to
Okay.
go back and look at
Just
that.
wanted to know. Is there any way that we can probably not have that go to the consent agenda and probably have it as a standalone?
Sure.
Okay, appreciate that.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all but that last one will be slated to put on the consent agenda. Just remember the items in this portion of the agenda are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the county commission and may be approved by one motion. However, a member of the county commission may request that an item be removed for separate consideration. Next, we have reports. We have the commission minutes dated January 9th, 2023. On the consent agenda, the county clerk's report and notary list. Nominating committee nominations. Commissioner Harper, do you have a report for us, sir? Or- Is that you now? Commissioner Ray?
Nominating committee met this afternoon, and we had two for the Agriculture Committee. Mr. Stephen Green has been nominated for the second two-year term to expire January of 2025. Ms. Julie Head has been nominated to replace Laverne McNeese for a two-year term to expire January 2025. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. My apologies. Next, we have the county mayor nomination and appointments. First, we have the judicial commissioners. Robert L. Peterson nominated for additional one-year term to expire February of 2024. And then the county coroner, Jimmy Edwards, is reappointed for another two-year term to expire February of 2025. Next, we have our verbal reports. Our school board liaison, Commissioner Gannon.
Thank you, Mayor Golden. Basically, at the formal meeting, they went over two reports where there are ways that they are doing to improve bus driver recruitment and retention to enhance the student transportation services, which is quite impressive. If you have a chance to look at that presentation, I would definitively do it. And they also approval of the review committee for any submitted charter schools applications. The main thing that they did there was that they did a study, and apparently across the state, I think they said that the school board member wasn't necessarily on the review committee because the school board gets to make the decisions as well in the charter schools. So in the review committee, they took off the school board member because the school board does approve it regardless. So that was the main thing they did there. Other than that, they meet tomorrow night. If you're out and about, want to come by and see what's going on, we will be there on Gracie Avenue at school headquarters and look forward to seeing you at 6 o'clock.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have our Highway Commission liaison, Commissioner Langford.
Thank you, Mayor. Recap of the last highway meeting, 79 work orders were submitted, 61 of those were completed, with a few of those being from the previous month. Yearly road list was distributed. They're currently working with the engineering group to update the road specs. The traffic signal at Kirkwood and Rossview is live, and it will be maintained by the Highway Department until TDOT begins the widening project. They were preparing for the ice storm we had and working on budgets for 2024.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have our Airport Authority liaison, Commissioner Shelton.
All right. The Clarksville Regional Airport is still flying high, and we've seen a tremendous increase. There's always going to be a pun with me. It's going to happen. We had an increase of the number of aircraft that have been going through in and out of our community by about 5% for the year to date. The fuel sales, which are the bulk of their income, is down a little bit for the year. But what we have seen, all of this, there was an audit that was completed that was also, that came back with no findings. The biggest thing going on is the amount of planes that are just simply waiting to be stored here. We have a total of 105 total aircraft that are on a waiting list to be able to even be stored here. Their rent facilities are going up. They've done very well with all of this. But the main thing is, the next meeting's going to be in April 26th of this year. So thank you very much.
Excellent report. Thank you, sir. Next, we have reports filed. We have our driver safety report, October, November, and December of 2022, our trustees' monthly report, report on debt obligation, and building codes monthly reports. Next, moving on into announcements. Commissioner Leverett, did you have something for us?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Commissioners, I put a folder on your desk inviting you all to come out tomorrow evening between 4:30 and 6 p.m. to Burt Elementary regarding Clarksville Housing Authority. There's going to be some general information concerning RAD, which is redevelopment. As you may have seen, there has been some public articles written about the Housing Authority, and we wanted to get the information out in the public, so I called the interim director and asked her, would it be okay to have a community meeting? And although the county does not have jurisdiction over the Housing Authority, and neither does the city in some capacity, I think it is important for us to still come out and get the information concerning our constituents and understand what redevelopment is. And so I'm asking you all to just come out tomorrow night if you can. Please bring your questions, any concerns that you have to 110 Bailey Street, Burt Elementary, and I hope to see you all there. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Also, we have some sympathy cards going around. Commissioner Simmons, she could not be here this evening. Her brother-in-law has passed away, and so they're visiting with family right now. But just keep them in thoughts and prayers, and make sure you get a chance to sign one of the cards. And on a lighter note, it is Wednesday will be Commissioner Padro's birthday. So happy birthday, sir. And that's all I have. Does anybody have anything else? All right, thank y'all.